Hello everyone. This is a continuation of my series discussing manipulator types. The playlist for this series is on my channel under the title Manipulator Types. This series is not going to focus on abuser versus victim, but instead the purpose is going to teach and educate on the different forms of manipulation that people use on each other and has been normalized in society. We may be doing this by accident, some may be doing it on purpose, and some people may have no idea what they're doing at all. This series will go over each type in a more detailed way, generalizing the manipulator type since each manipulator type has subcategories within them, and each type can be used interchangeably at the same time depending on the situation. We may use one type one time, use two or even three types at another at the same time. Today we will be discussing the manipulator type, the Tyrant. This type of manipulator loves being in positions of power. They take full advantage of it and like to remind people the power they hold, whether they have power or not. Sometimes the power they have may just be in their head. But this type of manipulator can be considered the classic narcissist with a high level of self-importance. These people do not like being in lowly positions, and if they are, they like to climb their way to the top no matter who or what gets in their way. They will make it a point to show you how powerful they are. These people also feel as though people above them who have authority over them should not be there. They don't like having people above them because this means that they have the authority to tell them what to do. So they prefer to be the next person in line to have authority. They like to have a reason to tell people what to do, and usually this is done by pulling their rank and reminding people of the position they hold. These people like being in really high positions because this means that their commands and orders are justified by their rank. These people can be fathers, mothers, bosses at work, or anyone with a perceived position of power over you. Parents use this by saying, I am your mother or I am your father, therefore you listen to me or you do as I say. And when you ask why, they say, because I said so. Usually we like to understand why we do the things we do, and when we are told to just do things just because someone said so, it becomes confusing to us, especially when we're growing up. So we pick up on this way of being. So the tyrant likes to be the king of the castle, where they are the authority and no one can tell them otherwise. And parents use this method against their children sometimes, whether it's on purpose or by accident. At work, this happens very frequently. There are people in the workplace who use their position over others to get them to do what they want. They exaggerate their strength by using orders and authority to control. You may have a good idea at work to get something done more quickly and effectively, but since you are beneath the boss, they may not listen to you. To you, you're just someone beneath them. You're not the boss. It doesn't matter what you have to say. What they say goes, and they use this position always. They like to remind you, I'm the boss, not you. They pull their rank often. They see themselves sort of as a mini god. They believe the way they do things is the best way of doing things. If you have a specific way of doing something that's better, they may actually steal your idea and take credit for it or just ignore it completely. Even if these people are very religious, they use their knowledge and piety to determine if they are better than others. They act as if they know more than you about whatever doctrine is being taught in the specific religious sect. They use it against you by claiming they are holier than you, they follow all of the rules, and they can do no wrong. Sometimes, if they are the leaders of the religious group, they can act like a tyrant. Most of the time, the tyrant climbs their way to the top, even in religious circles. They act the part and pretend to be someone who cares, but they just want the power associated with climbing up there. In a relationship, it can be the person who thinks they put more in the relationship than you do, or the classic example of, I am the man, so you do as I say. Women can be the tyrant in a more emotionally manipulative way. She knows she can pull the strings and she knows she's in control. She is the master of the home and the man is just the face. This is how a woman can manifest this. But men taking control in the household in the way where you do as I say because I'm the man has been a tyrant move for many years. It's no wonder that women have rebelled nowadays because men have used this method for far too long in order to suppress women. There shouldn't be a competition in the relationship. It's two people coming together and working together to make a relationship beautiful and fruitful. There shouldn't be one person trying to fight for power over the other. The tyrant is very competitive, so they see life as a winning and losing game. They as individuals must win the race. The people that they use are their pawns. They are expendable to the degree of their usefulness. They like to make people beneath him compete as well. A tyrant type, when their traits are used for good instead of control and manipulation, turn into good leaders who can help uplift the people beneath him. The true leader wants nothing more than to see the people he was in charge of grow and prosper. To him, it doesn't matter if they surpass him, because he sees their worth and value that everyone has as individuals. The tyrant is afraid of his subordinates passing him and overthrowing his reign. He doesn't want them to beat him. In the relationship, someone can have this leadership role and switch off as well. The leader can help the other in the relationship become a leader themselves, helping with making decisions, helping them become more motivated, helping them become more actualized as individuals. At work, the good leader is someone who expects good work, but also understands that people make mistakes. He helps them and he guides them, empathizes with them, and understands their weakness and helps them grow from there. He works with his team to help them become the best team they can possibly be, and he knows at the end of the day they will greatly appreciate him for this. The reality is that the position of power is not the problem itself. It's what you do with that power. Why does someone seek power in the first place? To control, to dominate, to feel better about themselves? Or will someone use power to uplift, to guide, to help? Power is a good thing when it has good intentions, but the same power can be used for bad. The tyrant is the power used for bad, while the leader is the power used for good. Many times people say power will corrupt, but usually the person was already corrupt before they came into power. And sometimes it does happen the other way around where the power itself corrupts someone. But tyrants don't know they are like this because they have not had the opportunity to control someone. Or it's something that they are desperately seeking because that's something that they want to hold over someone. They want to tell people what to do and to control as much as they can. To protect yourself from a tyrant type manipulator, it's important to understand that while on the physical plane, someone may be on a higher position than you, such as work, as human beings, we are all the same. There is no hierarchy when it comes to being a human being. Many times we value ourselves depending on what others think of us or what we can do. For example, we may feel small if we are constantly being oppressed at work by our boss, being manipulated and guilty for not doing a good job. If you got stuck in the middle of the Congo jungle with your boss, you would quickly see that he has no authority over you. You two must now help each other survive. Do not allow someone to make you feel small just because they think they can because of rank. Your self-esteem comes from what you think of yourself, not what someone else thinks of you. It's important for you to regard yourself because we can fall into the trap of feeling small due to our rank in life. Maybe you don't make as much money as someone else, and this makes you feel small. The tyrants out there are using whatever hierarchy they can to keep people under them. You are not as small as you think. They have made you feel small. They are afraid of what you can become in reality. Cassius from Julius Caesar said, "Tyranny is not only the fault of the individual in power, but also of those who allow it to happen." What this means is the tyrant only has enough power as we give them. Don't give them power by fearing them. Put the power back into yourself as an individual.